We have some breaking news. Kassius Ohno has been released by WWE, but guys, this is a very, very different scenario than from what we have seen with all of the 40 other WWE stars that have been released. So we're going to talk about it in today's video. Stay tuned.
Get notified every time a new video drops. Make sure you click that subscribe button and ring the bell for more pro wrestling news.
You have arrived at your destination.
All right, guys, welcome back to DPW. I'm your boy Ango. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, donation links, DPW Plus information, all in the description down below. Shout out to Chris Gladden. He is a new DPW World Champion. $5 a month gets you the world title. $1 a month gets you the 24/7 championship. But today, nonetheless, we are talking about Kassius Ohno getting released because it has been confirmed. Just a few days ago, I tweeted that Kassius Ohno was released by the company. A lot of people did not see that as being the case because Kassius Ohno was moved to the alumni section. Now, it actually has been confirmed by Meltzer himself that Kassius Ohno has also been released. But what's very, very interesting about this release is the potential opportunity for Kassius Ohno to actually come back. So it sounds like Kassius Ohno has been released from his contract, but it is technically part of a layoff. I guess one thing that a lot of us didn't know up until this point is that Kassius Ohno was actually a coach. He was part of the developmental staff at WWE. So therefore, with Kassius Ohno putting over a lot of people in WWE, NXT UK, he was kind of always that golden child for allowing other people to grow within WWE. And I think a lot of people were very insulted by that because Kassius Ohno was never really given an opportunity, to actually flourish. A lot of people thought Kassius Ohno could have been in the North American Championship. At least people thought he could have been in that mix, and that didn't necessarily happen. WWE never really gave him an opportunity at a belt, and some people could even argue from the days of when Kassius Ohno was first in NXT, prior to all of the big names coming over. A lot of people felt that Kassius Ohno could have been somebody that was a world champion. People also often forget that Kassius Ohno was slated to be in Roman Reigns' position as part of the Shield, as the leader of the Shield. So I thought that was very interesting because this entire time, Kassius Ohno really hasn't done much, but it's almost been programmed that way. And I think this is one of the most important parts of the conversation that we have to have. If WWE has taken care of Kassius Ohno to the point that he does have the ability to come back, will Kassius Ohno come back? Does Kassius Ohno want to wrestle? I think the one thing that we haven't really considered is maybe Kassius Ohno wants to be in a wrestling situation. Maybe he wants to be in the coaching situation. We just really don't know the scenario itself. But a lot of times people are curious because Kassius Ohno is somebody who he's good for everything. Like, he is reliable as an in-ring athlete. He's not bad on the microphone. You almost feel like Kassius Ohno could be a top star. But WWE just hasn't done that with him on the NXT brand. One of the things that I read a long time ago was that WWE was not very happy with Kassius Ohno gaining weight. And I always found that to be a very interesting scenario because when Kassius Ohno was a lot smaller, I think a lot of people liked Kassius Ohno, but I think a lot of people liked the fact that he even gained weight and it never affected his actual in-ring ability. So Kassius Ohno put on some pounds, but at the same time too, he looked even better in the ring than he ever did. And I think that's why it was so weird reading those rumors. And I'm really curious if that ever played into WWE, wanting to release him. Obviously, age is a concern right now for WWE. That's why a lot of people that are released are veterans. There's a lot of veterans in WWE being released because they're older. And it seems like the only older wrestlers that are sticking around are the ones who are getting paid big, big money, which is crazy because you would think WWE wants to save money. Nonetheless, you kind of get where I'm headed with this. I just found it to be really interesting. I think at this stage of the game, WWE getting Kassius Ohno out of the contract, I think it really poses the question, if you're Kassius Ohno, do you go to AEW? Because unlike anybody else in this list of people that's been released, I think Kassius Ohno probably makes the most sense for AEW. Again, you want, and I made this point about guys like Heath Slater or Zack Ryder. You want guys with big time experience. And Kassius Ohno, I think, if you put him in AEW, Chris Hero, I think you can pretty much have him elevate other people in the company, but most importantly, I think he could be a great backstage asset. And I think that's where Kassius Ohno really fits. I think WWE at this point, we already know they're not going to do anything with Kassius Ohno. And I think having him reinvent himself one more time, one final run as Chris Hero, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think this guy brings a lot to the table, and AEW can definitely utilize somebody with that veteran skill. So I'm curious to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. I think WWE just keeps dropping the ball. And whether or not he goes back to WWE, I guess it would be ultimately up to him. But technically, he's not with WWE now. And also, if he was laid off, you almost have to wonder why WWE had him in that role or why it was never talked about. I think this is one of the biggest things I talked about in my previous video. I made a video 10 plus WWE NXT superstars who were released. Chris Hero, aka Kassius Ohno, was not on that list originally. So why is WWE keeping it hush hush with so many releases? I think this is the thing that people really want to know. They want to know why these haven't been announced. They want to know why these haven't been really made public. WWE's been doing this on the silence. They've been very, very silent when it comes to this. The volume is all the way down low at this point. WWE has made it very clear that they're not going to be as public about these releases, but they were very, very public about Primo, Epico, Eric Young, and the rest. If I'm WWE, I think having Kassius Ohno as somebody who works in a coach and development position, I think it works great for WWE. But I think at this point, NXT has so many people in general that have come from the indies or come from major companies. You don't really need to work on too much development anymore. So if I'm WWE, I think Kassius Ohno going to AEW is just the right call. And I think AEW will do it. I know AEW as a company is really focusing on the future, and a lot of people in AEW need the development. You don't get much better than Chris Hero. Like Chris Hero training and developing these people, becoming a backstage asset. And hell, if I'm AEW, this guy could still go in the ring. Give him a title run. Put him against Lance Archer, TNT Championship. Like, there's so much shit you can do. Have fun with it. I think that's the thing. Like, people are forgetting wrestling is supposed to be fun. The storytelling should be fun. Who cares if the guy's a little bit older than, some of the young guns on the roster? It's not like this guy is like a Brock Lesnar. I mean, we're talking about somebody who's literally been in WWE for so many years, and pretty much his entire time in WWE, he's only been there to make other people look good. And that's exactly why he went to NXT UK. So I'm interested to see what happens next. I'm interested to see if he wants to go back to WWE, and I'm interested to see if AEW is a potential player in the mix. I would assume that AEW signing Zack Ryder and Kassius Ohno probably are the two biggest signings that they can make right now, because they are both two incredible resources. Zack Ryder in the social media, podcasting, YouTube stuff, and Kassius Ohno with actual in-ring ability. And you got to think about the development aspect and the psychology of wrestling. So these two guys could be on the show, be an essential part of the show, but also help AEW get better. And that's what AEW needs. AEW doesn't need to sign guys who were dropped from WWE that are just a name. What AEW needs is people that could actually bring resources. And I think that's going to happen. I really do. And I think genuinely what's going to happen in the long term is a guy like Kassius Ohno could go to AEW, get a title run, and honestly retire at AEW. And you guys got to remember too, AEW is a lot more lenient as far as independent shows and indie bookings. Not that many of those things could be done at this point, but again, I would say it's something to consider. With that being said, guys, if you made it to this part of the video, don't forget we have some new merchandise. If you guys use the code ANGO at checkout, you get 20% off. We got some new shirts, new hats, new cases for your phone, and we got some new tank tops. As you guys know, it's a rough time for a lot of people out there. So for me, I'm trying to help people out with a discount code if you guys want to support the brand. I'm not forcing anybody to buy anything, but if I have the ability to do discount codes, I'm going to absolutely do that. It makes me less profit, but seeing people wear my shirts would be pretty damn cool. So therefore, I'm always going to plug the merchandise. But don't forget Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you guys want to make a one-time donation to the channel, maybe you don't want to do DPW Plus because it's a monthly thing. If you guys don't want to pay monthly, no big deal. You can make a one-time donation as well. And, just check it out. Let me know what you guys think of the new channel, the new look. Everything is super fresh. I feel excited about the future. Lots of videos coming out. And I'm excited to see what happens, guys. Anyways, this is your boy Ango. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to Chris Gladden, a new DPW World Champion. You guys will get more shout outs as time goes on. Thank you for your contribution, and I'll see you next time.
Get notified every time a new video drops. Make sure you click that subscribe button and ring the bell for more pro wrestling news.
You have arrived at your destination.